Hello everybody, we're doing Samsa today and I'm going to show you how to make the dough from scratch, and we're going to make a flaky dough. So I'm using this organic flour from Costco. I have here about 4 cups of flour, and it's about slightly over a pound of flour. And then I have half a teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, 2 cups of warm water, and some yeast. Make a little opening in the flour, and I'm going to put some warm water. This is to make the yeast work. So let me open a packet of yeast. And I'm not going to use the whole packet. Remember, this is a flaky dough, but I'm just gonna use half a packet. The one packet is 7 grams and I'm using half. We don't want it to rise too much, so that's what it looks like. Then salt, and then 1 egg. I'm bringing this up to our mixer, and I have dough hook, and I'm putting the mixer down, and I'm going to put it on low speed for now, and it's just going to mix. I have measured 2 cups of water, but it's not necessarily that we're going to use all of it. You just have to kind of watch and see what consistency of the dough it is. You don't want the dough to be runny. It needs more water. I'm adding a little more water. So initially when I put the yeast, I had the water about 1/4 cup of water, but I wasn't measuring. You just want to have enough to put the yeast in the water. And just let it mix. So this is what it looks like. Still mixing. A little more water I'm adding. So far I've added about a little less than a cup for about a pound of flour. A little more. So what you're doing is you're adding flour and you're watching for the consistency of the dough. So when it's about this consistency, I'm going to take it out and transfer it to the table. So I transferred the dough from the KitchenAid to the table, and I'm gonna add some flour, and I'm just gonna knead it. Has to be a somewhat tough dough. It's not supposed to be very soft. The reason I put some yeast is a lot of times when you're eating the flaky samsa, the layers, when you bite into it, feel like you're biting through asphalt. It's so hard. So what the yeast does is it makes it more fluffy, softer. I'm going to cover the dough and let it rest for about 20 minutes. While the dough is resting, we're going to prepare the filling. I'm going to use beef. It's a shoulder, beef shoulder. It should be really tender and has plenty of fat. So that's what I'm using. For spices, we're going to use black pepper, cayenne pepper, and ground cumin. And I have onion here that I'm going to cut. I cut the onion lengthwise, and then I'm cutting it across. You want to chop it somewhat small, because you don't want big chunks of onion get under your teeth. Another thing we're going to do when I'm finished chopping all the onion, I'm using a scraper to transfer the onion to the bowl. Here's our onion. I cut the onion in half, and then I'm cutting it lengthwise. And I'm using sweet onion. I just happen to have sweet onion. And then I'm gonna use it, cut it across. Almost done here with the onion. Final cut up onion. So what I like to do with the onion is I like to season it with pepper, this is black pepper. I'm also going to add cayenne. This is cayenne pepper and ground cumin. You can add ground coriander as well. And salt. Use pink Himalayan salt, about this much salt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the onion and spices and just massage it like this. This is the meat I'm using. It's beef shoulder. I'm going to cut it into thin slices like this, lengthwise, and then I'm gonna cut it across. And then once again. You're basically mincing it really fine. About this is the size of the meat that you want. What happens, you may ask, what happens if I use meat that's already been ground? I guess that's okay, but if you want it to come out really special, juicy, and authentic, then you have to spend some time in dicing the meat. So I'm finished dicing the meat. So what I'm doing now is I finished dicing the meat. I'm adding some more black pepper now to the meat. Adding some cayenne to the meat. And you don't have to add cayenne if you can't tolerate spicy or don't like spicy. And ground cumin, about this much. Okay, and just a little bit of salt, about this much salt. And I'm going to mix the onion and meat. This is what it looks like once it's all mixed. And it smells heavenly, let me tell you. I smell the onion, the spices, and ground cumin. So this is our filling. I'm going to put it in the fridge while we work with the dough. Okay, here's our dough. It's been resting, and as you can tell, it increased in size somewhat. We're going to use the scraper to get it off the table. And I'm going to use some flour, and I'm going to knead it. And I'm going to let it rest one more time. Because remember, this is our yeast dough. And it's really elastic now and soft. I'm going to leave it for about 15 or 20 minutes again. And then we're going to be ready to finally start rolling it out. Piece of dough. And when it's about this size, I would change the rolling pin. Rotate the dough. And again, you're doing from the center to the sides, gently pressing. Okay. You're ready for the oil. It's about this thin, about 1 millimeter thin. Let's go ahead and spread the oil evenly on your dough. So what the oil is doing, it's separating those layers that you see in Samsa on the top, those round lines. I'm done putting the oil this whole surface is covered in oil. We're going now to roll it and not let any air rolling it tightly into a roll. So what we're going to do next is we're going to pull it, make it a little longer, and it's ready to go on a plate, like this. Ready to go on a plate, and in the fridge for about 30 minutes. Looks just like this. Now ready to finally finish it off. So I have some jalapeno that I cut, jalapeno pepper. You don't have to put jalapeno pepper if you don't want to. Into my meat filling, stir it up once again. And here I have one egg, one whole egg, and one egg yolk. So it's an egg and a half. The reason I'm doing this is so that it's going to be more yellow. And this is going to be, we're going to be basting this on the Samsa. Here's our dough. We took it out from the refrigerator to cut the dough in about this size. I'm going to take some flour, take the dough, dip one end in the flour, take the other end and take the ends and push it inside like this. Then put the other end in the flour as well, and with the side down that you were pushing inside, you're going to put it down and roll a circle. About this size. I'm going to fill it up with the meat. About this much meat. And here's how we're going to seal it. Make sure you seal it really well so the juices from the meat don't come out. And then it's ready to go on the sheet. I'm going to show you one more. So once again, we have some flour here. We take our piece that we cut. We dip one piece in the flour first. We take the other end and we carefully push it inside, like so. Put the other end in the flour and roll it into a circle. And if you can tell, those are your layers. You can leave even that area slightly unrolled so you have like a little bump. See all those flakes? Filling it up with meat. Sealing it. And it's ready to go on the sheet. I'm going to do the rest off camera, and then I'll show you the final part. Okay, this is now ready to go in the oven. Okay, we're taking our egg wash, and once again this is an egg and a half, which means it's an egg and yolk of one egg only. Now I'm just sprinkling with black seeds. I don't know the English name of those seeds. They're the seeds that are used on tandoori bread, that's Uzbek bread. And I happened to get these seeds while we were on a trip in London in one of their halal stores. They're not black sesame seeds. They have a really strong aroma. I'll look it up and I put it in the notes what they're called in English. This is the final product, and it's going to preheated oven 375 degrees for about 35 minutes. Here you go, we took them out from the oven, and let me show you. This is what it looks like in the back. Here. Here's another one.